Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Nady and welcome back to another indie brand review. Today we're trying out CXC Beauty. As you beautiful people know, this is about the products, not the people behind them. Any tiff you may have with them, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy. Okay? Thank you. Oh, my little celery stalks, how you doing today? I hope wherever you're at in the world you're having a spiffy day so far. I myself am doing wonderful. I'm up bright and early. I have a few videos to film and I'm so excited to finally be on like a normal sleep schedule. I never thought it would happen. It's taken me years and the time has finally come. Just waiting for my friends to come over and stay till like 4 a.m. and everything to just be ruined. But so far so good for the 2 days that it's been. Anyways, I am so freaking excited to be trying yet another indie company. If you haven't already guessed, I love trying out indie makeup. We tried that indie brand tongue thing. That was kind of a flop, but also kind of a win. We tried a bunch of eyeshadows from indie brands, and today I actually have bronzers and eyeshadows. And I can't remember how I came across this brand, if it was on Twitter, if y'all tagged me, or if they approached me. I can't remember, but long fucking story short, I ended up befriending them. And like, we talk regularly. We're actually good friends. And I told them, I'm gonna review this. I only have like honest feedback, so hopefully we're still friends after this. But they are very, very legit. Like, they have their own lab where they make everything. It's a huge production. It's a huge building. Like, it is very professional. I love it. But their palettes are also very visually pleasing. Like, they are so gorgeous to look at. So definitely check them out. I think they have a bundle of both these palettes for less than $100. I want to say it's like 95 or 97, which is a lot of money, but I think you get 12 or 15 shadows in here. They're handmade. They're supposed to be really, really vibrant and good quality, so hopefully that price is worth it. And they did send me a couple of their bronzers last summer when I was going through a bronzer hoe phase. I haven't used them yet. I wanted to save them for a review when I did their eyeshadows, but these retail for $25, and they actually have a pretty decent shade range. Like, there are a lot of tones with these babies. They ended up sending me the shades 2N and 01. Clearly, there's a big difference between the two. Hopefully one of these works for me. I feel like I'm kind of a cross between the two, so maybe I'll end up mixing them. But for the bronzers, they have neutrals, reds, warms, neutral warms, and olives. So there's a fuck ton to choose from there. And it looks like they have skin products, face products, lips, and eyes. Like, they have a shit ton on here. So definitely check them out. I really don't even know what these palettes look like. I haven't opened them up or anything. So let's first start off with this Summer's End palette. And they do have pretty big 12-pan palettes, which retail for $54. I want to say these ones are like $52, at least when they're not bundled. Let's go ahead and open this up. Oh, that's nice. It has a little dust protector with all the shade names on it. Wait, maybe I did open this up because there are a few of these that are swatched. You know what? I wonder if my friend opened this. I bet you they did because I do not remember this. However, this is super fucking pretty. There's actually quite a few looks that you could make with this. You could go like orangey or blue or red. You could do some green with a pop of brown. And there's a couple multi or duochromes in here too, specifically like this and that. And no, I guess that one is too. It's really cute. I will admit though, it's not a palette that makes me think, ooh, I want to do a huge ass creative look with this. This is something that I'd reach for when maybe I wanted a simple but still poppin' look. Like, I immediately gravitate towards this green, which I'll probably use. And I really like this combination of like this lavender with this blue up there. That is stunning. It's all really pretty. And I will say I'm not going to go crazy with these palettes. Like, I will use one on one eye and one on the other eye, but I'm not going to do like these huge ass looks like I always do. And I know I say I'm not going to do that, but not only do I not want to muddy this shit up, I don't have like the energy for that today. I don't know who the fuck I'm becoming, but like simplicity is what's best for me lately. But you never know. I always say that bullshit and end up looking like a drag queen. Okay, let's look at the Midwinter's Night palette. Again, we get the really nice dust thing. Oh, that I am instantly moist over because I love purples, and like all of this half is purple. We have a coolish gray tone purple, a really kind of dusty lavender, a beautiful grapey wine eggplant looking bitch, and then a lovely purplish brown. And oh, this is actually a multi-chrome. It goes from like green to blue, a bunch of little colors in there, and oh my gosh, this side is really pretty too. Like, I love greens. I didn't used to, but lately I've been using them. This is just really pretty, and I actually love how both these palettes kind of complement each other. Like, I could totally see these greens fucking with that green, and these blues fucking with these kind of bluish colors, and the purples going together. Not that they wouldn't be great separately, but together it's like a complete little family. Kind of like the Blend Bunny palettes. I don't know if you remember my review on those, but there was like the original really poppin' one, and then their second one was was kind of more neutral. And it's like together, they're so harmonious. It's kind of the same with this. Also, the pressing on these shadows is just exquisite. A lot of times with indie companies, they're kind of messy, but there is nothing messy about these. Shit, when I'm the messiest one in the room, that's a little bit concerning. Also, that color right there in the middle. On camera, it kind of looks very, very teal, but in person, I don't know. I've not really seen anything like it. It's like a teal mixed with periwinkle. I just need to feel a couple of these before we fully dive deep into swatching these. So let me try this blue right here. Ooh, that feels really nice. Well, a lot of times blues are just really splotchy, but that is just with one light dip. Let's try this green right next to it. That's very nice as well. Well, shit. Let's try a shimmer. Do I want this chartreuse or this multi-chrome? Let's do this multi-chrome. Ooh, that's really nice as well. Let's see how they stand up on the palm. Wow, okay, that's really nice. Let's do the blue. Wow! Y'all, I'm not blowing smoke up anybody's ass. That's a really nice blue. Like, blues are super difficult to make. A lot of times they're splotchy, they just aren't that great. And like, if a company can make a good blue, then they are totally fuckable. There is the multi-chrome on the end. Those are actually really, really good. I'm way more impressed than I thought I'd be. I'm not trying to be emotionless. I'm just really legitimately shocked over how beautiful these are. I know it's just makeup, but I felt like really, really expensive professional quality, like artist blues and greens in my life, and these are just exquisite compared to those. Wow. Now I'm even more excited to swatch into a look with these bitches. Y'all know the song. Are you ready? It's swatching time. And here we have the Midwinter's Night palette, and this is over no primer, no stickiness, no anything. These are just over bare skin, and they laid down fan-fucking-tastically. These are stunning. The mattes don't feel creamy, but they don't feel dry. They're just like the perfect in-between. And the same for the shimmers. Like, they're not overly creamy, so they crumble everywhere. They just pick up and lay down so well. I would imagine that these would just be even better over a really good eye base, but just over bare-ass skin, these look phenomenal. Like, I'm really excited for these, and these multi-chromes are very, very pretty. I'm not the hugest multi-chrome fan in the world, so I don't know that I'll get much use out of those, but I know that that's the hot thing right now, and they seem to go really, really well with all the colors that are included here. I also really like this fourth shade in the palette. I feel like that would be a great highlighter for me, so maybe I'll get a few uses out of this palette, but so far, she is impressed. Up next, we have the Summer's End palette, and this too is very, very pretty. The mattes seemed pretty much the same quality. However, the shimmers are on the more flaky, chunky side, so they didn't really want to stick down to my bare palm. I'm not sure if it's the formula, if it's the actual pigments, but it is totally different from the other palette. Like this guy right here and this guy just don't want to lay there. With those guys, I feel like they'd have to either go down on a concealer that's moist or a glue. They're totally not deal breakers for me, but they are flying the fuck everywhere. So I think if I personally had to choose between the two palettes, I'd probably pick the Midwinter's Night one. Not that there's anything wrong with this one. I'm just so scared of like glitter fallout. Like by the end of the day, I don't want anything to have fallen down off of my eyes and have like a disco ball looking face or look like I got face fucked by JoJo Siwa's tour bus. And unless I'm really putting some hardcore glue down, I'm scared that those might fall out. But otherwise, this is a great color combination. I can already see so many freaking looks that we could do. So my loves, I'm gonna go ahead and do my face base. I will be back in just a second for the eye look. All right, so base face is on. It's also a different day. So the first look that I did, everything was going pretty smoothly for the most part, and then I was at the eyeliner and the bitch fucking exploded. It was like a fountain pen or like the day after Taco Bell. Just all over my eyes. It was awful. And then the other look that I did, it was pretty, but it wasn't anything to write home about. And I actually used a fuck ton of the shadows in here, and I'm not gonna do that today. But I can tell you what I learned from using almost everything in here. So with the exploded eyeliner, I ended up putting this shadow right on the inner part of my eye, then the green one, and then this dark purple on the outer bit, which sounds like a fucking mess. It was, but it didn't really turn muddy. Like you could still see the difference between each shadow. You just need to cut it, which is exactly what I did. So I cut my crease, and then on the wet can squeeze, I ended up putting down this really pretty teal, and then next to that, I think I put this darker green, and then over that, I put this lime green, or chartreuse, whatever the fuck that beautiful bitch is, and that was it. But I did notice that when it came to this blue, you either have to like immediately blend it out and you'll get something super freaking soft, or you have to really pack that beast on there, almost like a pressed pigment, and then you can start to slowly blend those edges out. So there is a little bit of a learning curve with this palette, but there also was with this other palette. Now with this one, this bitch had the chunky monkeys in it, and I did end up using them. However, they kind of still fell all over my face, even though they went onto a damp cut crease. And so it's not like you can't use them, just don't layer them up, because I did put one layer down, it was fine, but then I kind of tapped a little bit more on top of that just to build the color up a little, and that's where it started to crumble. So the heavier shimmers in this guy are one and dones, or apply them with some serious glitter glue. But the other shimmers, they actually went on perfectly fine, where there wasn't damp concealer on my inner corner, and they laid down and stayed down and layered up over the wet concealer. It was just these thicker, chunkier guys that I was having issues with. But also, I like that they included so many textures and finishes in here. Like, we have the multi-chromes, the duochromes, the normal shimmers, the mattes, the chunkier glitters. Like, you have a lot to choose from with both of these palettes, and now that I've worked with both of them, I still absolutely say get them as a pair. I do think this palette is really pretty, but I think, like I said before, it's not the kind of palette that I feel artistically inclined, whereas this one, it absolutely is, but you kind of get more transition shades in this palette, so they do just make a really fucking good pair. Like, they are a sexy couple. This is the Bradgelina of makeup. So my loves, have a seat, bend over, and let's dive in. I'm gonna prime my eyes with the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas in white, and I think I said I was gonna use each palette for each eye, but I actually kind of want to mix them. I don't know if that's fair or not, but I do also want to create really pretty looks, and I just envisioned using this dark blue and then like smoking it out with this really pretty periwinkle-ish teal, whatever the fuck that is, and maybe using this teal shimmer that's in this palette with this lavender. I don't know, I feel like that'd be pretty, and for the most part, simple. So I'm just gonna take my little sausage finger and dip right into this blue, and I'm gonna spread that bad boy all over the lid. And I would definitely say that this blue and like the green and like the weirder shades really resemble the pressed pigments, and so it's best just to like lay them down, press them in, make sure they're everywhere that you want them to be, and then go from there. All right, see, that is, wow, I look crazy, but it's really pretty, isn't it? And just like a lot of pressed pigments, it almost kind of like sinks into the primer, and then you just have to keep building it up. This shadow is no exception. I do have to put a few layers on. Then I'm gonna dip into the Midwinter's Night palette into this poppin' ass blue, and I'm gonna take that all along the edges of what I just laid down and start blending it upwards. Okay, but see, like, this is what I'm talking about. See where it kind of fades in and you can start to see the white? So I don't know what exactly to do with that, because I did put on a fuck ton. I don't necessarily mind that much because I am just gonna put a shimmer over this blue, but I guess just keep that in mind. I also want to see if this blue is gonna stain my under eyes, which no, actually it just dusted away, so yay! But yeah, those two blues really complement each other quite nicely. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you need both palettes. Okay, so that's after blending it out. I did kind of lose all of that darker shade that I put down. I don't know if I did something wrong. Maybe I did. Now that the other colors blended out, maybe I'll take a little bit more and pat it on. See, there we go. That is so pretty. I love a blue smoky eye, even though I'm literally about to cover all this darkness up with a shimmer. At least we can see how it looks. And then we did get a little bit more fallout, so let me try dusting that away. Yep, once again, we are perfect. And now on the inner part of the eye, I'm gonna take this beautiful teal, and I'm just gonna smear this right there. Oh, pretty. Oh my gosh, and the color that it made on my finger was, oh damn, it's like Ariel's tail. Wow, the color that it makes over that blue is just so pretty. I do, however, really feel that this would be elevated if you applied a glitter glue before this. And I do also want to note that this is going directly over an already laid down pigment, so the fact that this is sticking to anything is amazing. Okay, so now into this palette, I'm gonna dip into this lavender shimmer and kind of take it from the inner third outwards. You know what? Fuck it. Let's take some of this green and place it on the inner bit too. There we go. That's pretty. Now we'll press a little bit of that deep blue right into the lower lash and blend her out with that lighter blue. A little bit more of that teal right in the tear duct, just as a little pop. Oh yes. Then for the other side, I think on the lid, I'm actually gonna start by packing on this dark brown. I just wanna see if this kind of dusts away like that blue did, or if it was just because it was a blue. And then maybe I'll smoke that out with a little bit of that green. Ooh, but yeah, already this is laying down quite a bit better than that blue. That is kind of to be expected because browns are just so much less finicky than colors like blue. And I mean, I do still really like the look that we made with that blue. It's not like it's a throwaway or anything. It's still a great shadow. You just have to learn how to make it your bitch, which is kind of what you have to do with all makeup. And then we'll softly blend those edges out. Oh, actually, you know what? It is kind of doing that thing that the blue did, where it's almost like it kind of wants to dust away. I wonder if these are the shadows where you have to blend them out and then start putting more on top of them. That could totally be. However, the more that you just kind of like blend things out, the smoother it gets. So maybe I just applied too much to my lid. I don't know. But as far as them blending out, they do blend out and very, very well. Like shit, I almost don't even want to add the green now. Yeah, I still do. Okay. So back into the midwinter palette, and I'm gonna dip right into this hunter green right here. And right along them edges, we will blend this the fuck out. I'm hoping for like a little bit of a grunge moment, which I think is what we're gonna get. Ooh, those play together very well. Wow, that was just really fucking easy. Once again, though, I am gonna plop a few shimmers on the lid. Should I try this chunky gold just so that you can see how it looks? I actually don't think that I tried not sticking it to something sticky, so let's try that. I'm not expecting much, but maybe if I just kind of like press it in, it'll hold down. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. The color is so fucking heavenly, but it does just kind of want to slip and slide all around, and it will not stick down to my eyelid. Like, it is just going everywhere. But as far as that beautacious color goes, look at that. Oh, and it complements both that brown and green really, really well. Maybe I can take a little bit of setting spray and pat it down. Oh, oh my. Okay, so that just turned it into like an ink. Oh. Okay. That whole foiling thing may have just been the trick. Hold on, we have an avalanche of fallout underneath my eyes. Let me dust that away. Look at that shimmer. That is so much prettier than the first time I tried it, even when I put it down onto something moist. So basically what I did was put it on my finger and then spray my finger with a setting spray. You could do the same thing with a brush, but I feel like because I was able to really press it into my eyeball skin, the finger was kind of better than a brush. But that totally transformed the whole formula. Like before, it was just blowing everywhere. Nothing was sticking down to my eyes. And now it just looks fabulously foiled. You can see every little wrinkle in my eyelid now, but it's still pretty. Like, what do we think? Yes, yes, yes. I am honestly cool with the way that looks. This is going so much better than filming the other day. And then I think on this inner corner, I'm gonna take this chartreuse and we can plop that as a nice little highlight right there. And then I'm doing the same thing on this side where I'm taking the deeper color and then smoking it out with that lighter one. All right, the eye looks are done. I did go in and contour a little bit, and now we're at the point where we need a little bronzer. So last time I filmed, I did end up trying these. However, my foundation was borderline orange, and so the color of these didn't really look that great. However, the formula was so good. It just like melted right into your skin. And now with my foundation today, I don't know, maybe we'll go in with this one. I kind of felt like I should have mixed the both of them. So maybe I'll do that and just dip back and forth and get quite a bit of it off the brush because this has some power. My face already is a little bit warm. That contour I used is just way too red, but we can always be a little bit more bronze. Let's try this right here, and I'm going to distribute it between both sides. Hopefully you can see this. Like in person, it is so fucking stunning. It just goes into the skin kind of like a powdered foundation where it just melts. And so the color, it might still not be completely accurate for my skin, but again, they have so many fucking undertones to choose from. So if you're in the market for a good bronzer, definitely check them out because the formula, honey, that is where the fuck this is at. For lips, I went in with my favorite combo, Oprah's Refine and Revive. For blush, I'm gonna go in bold today and with this Hank and Henry in the shade Ornate and Love. This brush is so fucking old. The bristles are just like chipping off. And then for highlighter, I'm gonna go in with the Gerard Cosmetics in the shade Audrey. I've never used this before, so we'll see. Ooh, hi, okay. Very pretty, cool. And we'll finish this look up with a little Lunar Boutetes gloss in the shade Divine. And here we are with both our final looks. I love these so damn much, and they were actually pretty easy and simple to get to. We have just a little pop of color here and there. Everything is very complimentary. So now let's talk about how we feel about these palettes, because there are feelings. First of all, there is quite a bit of shimmer fallout that has fallen from my eyelids. That was kind of expected because I didn't stick this down to a moist concealer. So if you're going to use these shimmers, make sure you put them over something. Like I said a million million times. This shimmer, however, is doing really, really well. It's for the most part staying into place. It's not transferring. I really think that setting spray trick was all this needed. But other than the fact that they do need something to stick down to, the only other issue that I had was the pop-in colors kind of just dusting away after I pressed them onto my skin. It's kind of like you have to go back to front with this palette, like start off blending things out and then layer them up like with your fingers. Otherwise, they aren't gonna stick down. Which brings us to all the positives these palettes have. So first of all, the number of colors that you get between these palettes is amazing. I think that even if you were to only get one palette, you'd still be pleased, but like I keep saying, it's probably better to get them together. I think you're gonna have way more color options and the formulas seem to work together really well. However, if you already have a lot of these colors, maybe you would be okay with just one of the palettes. But I think they have awesome blendability. I think you have a lot to choose from. I think the shimmers are really, really pretty. I love the multi-chromes. Even though I don't use them, I know that people just go ape shit over them, so that is definitely a selling factor for a lot of people. I just think that this one is perfect for like traveling with. You can just get so many cool looks out of it. And then this one is excellent if you like to take a ride on the dark side, which I do. This is like the moody palette and this is like the neutral palette. I think they're both fabulous. So do I recommend them? Yeah, I do, but do keep in mind that you are gonna have to play with them once or twice just to get a feel for them before you go like balls to the walls with a look. That's just my suggestion because in my opinion, they're not normal shadows. They're almost like a hybrid between a normal shadow and like a pressed pigment. So they're like right in between. And also I do want to mention the bronzers because those are hella gorgeous. The colors probably were not my shade, but the formula itself is kind of unbeatable. I've not used like 100 different bronzers in my life, but I have used a few and it seems like for the most part, they kind of sit on top of my skin, but this is almost like a cream. It melts into your skin without melting your foundation. I also like that they have so many different undertones because for me, it's a little bit difficult to find my correct shade. Like the only bronzer that I can really get away with using is the Hoola, and it's an okay formula, but if I can expand, I will. Thank you so much for being here. I just love having you so damn much. But yes, there you go. Thank you to CXC Beauty for sending me extra goodies in addition to my purchase. That was very sweet of you. So grateful. Y'all never have to do that. That's just too damn kind. And if you ever get bored and would like a little bit more Nady in your life, please head over to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/poplux. There you get videos a day early. You get Patreon only content, and best part, it is cheap, fun, and fancy, just like me. And like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, will be available again soon at thepoplux.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplux.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye!